Welcome back to Modern Homestead Alaska and the Every Bit Counts Challenge for the month of August 2022. Today is Monday. Yesterday I got some bacon and some stuff out to deal with today, and that is what we're going to do. Let me get you in here. Welcome to our vlog. We are the Milnes family. We started building a modern homestead outside of Wasilla, Alaska in the summer of 2021. That's my husband, Aaron. I am Jessica, a stay-at-home wife and mom. Our second son, Caleb, lives here with us, along with our daughter, Cody Ann, and the youngest of our family, Wyatt. We brought our two dogs, Tipper and Daisy, and got a new addition, the Alaska dog, Roberto. I know that I've shown bacon before, but for those of you who have not seen it, what I do is divide the slab of bacon into three. I use a 2-gallon Ziploc bag or whatever brand of 2-gallon bag that you can find, because the bacon's going to be in there for 7, 10, 5 days, whatever suits you best. I put half of the seasoning and spices on one side of the bacon, flip it over, and what you want to do is get it really, really rubbed and packed in there into all the cracks and crevices and all the sides of the bacon before you store it in the refrigerator. The recipe that we follow is right there in front of me. It's 1/3 cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of kosher salt, along with 2 tablespoons of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of a curing salt. You can use pink or some sort of white, and 2 teaspoons of paprika. And that is all the seasonings and spices that we use for our bacon. We also do an individual serving for each slab so that they all taste the same. I do like to label the bags so that I know what day I started this and what day we need to get to smoking it. Okay, I'm going to start on this eye of round. Normally I prefer like a jalapeno, but Aaron asked me to use this prime rib one this time. This we just got at Bass Pro, and I've kind of kept it. And you just dissolve this seasoning mix in a cup of water, and that is what we're going to put on this. We're going to use our slicer to get it sliced up and cleaned up, but you can always try a store-bought, look some stuff up on Pinterest, or here in the Every Bit Counts Challenge, I showed you how to make cowboy candy, which I then used to make a jalapeno jerky. So now we're just going to use kind of a store-bought mix that we put on the jerky ourselves, and then we'll smoke it in the next 24 to 48 hours. It's really important on the eye of round or whatever kind of meat you're using for jerky that you get as much of kind of that gray skin, any fat, anything you can pull off of it. Those are the things that actually will go rancid with the jerky once it is smoked. So do the very best cleanup you can. Only in Alaska. I got a phone call from Caleb. Well, I'm waiting for the meat to firm up in the freezer, and he said he got home super late Saturday and Sunday. He spent the days fishing with a bunch of buddies, and they got their limit on silvers. So he asked me if I would process and put up everyone's fish for them, which is great. That's fine. So go outside. I'll show you what I have and walk you through what we're gonna do. So these are silver salmon. They're fresh. I just caught them this weekend. And so what I'm gonna do is come through and clean them up. And I think I'm gonna do 2 or 3 portions for each bag, and then bag these as kind of an individual serving as opposed to the whole fillet. So I want to take off that. And then right here is a bunch of bones. So I'm just gonna clean up the salmon. I have these. Pliers. And I want to get that gray skin off if I can. By the end of cleaning up all of these salmon, and then the more that we're going to show you in a moment, I did figure out the best way of actually getting that off of there, and it is with a knife, and I just sort of skin those rib bones out of there. And then I do clean up the salmon as best I can. I pull out as many bones as possible. But this is a fresh wild cut salmon that we're processing at home, so I'm not going to be overly concerned with the fact that there may be a couple of bones left in the salmon. A job like this takes quite a while to really get the salmon cleaned up as best that I could. So I just popped on a little Netflix, watched a movie while I cleaned up the salmon, and got it ready to go into the chamber sealer. So I processed, I'm carrying all this salmon down to the deep freeze, and I wanted to talk about it for a second because I've had either some really weird comments, like weird assumptions of living in Alaska and what fishing is like. My son and his buddy, so this is not all his fish, but I did agree. He had called and asked if I would use the vacuum sealer and process these fish for him and his friends, and then he'll take fish to work and give it to the buddies that this fish belongs to. Anywho, let me open my garage. So the thing is we dip net, something like that, a bunch of this salmon, and then Aaron and the boys and his parents got the halibut on like a charter. So silvers you can only get right now where he was fishing. Now we don't know the whole rules of everywhere. We just look it up wherever we're going. You can only get 2 silvers a day on the river he was on. So for him to get 6 silvers takes 3 days, and it's rod and reel. So he's actually fishing for them, and it's not some easy, just you go out there. I know that it's either made to appear like beyond normal difficult, or salmon fishing is made to appear like the easiest thing on the planet to do, and it is neither one of those. So yes, there's a lot of fish, and it does take a lot of time and commitment and effort in order to get them, and it costs a lot of money. There's a lot of gear and whatnot that goes into getting out there. So for him to just come home, all of the guys to limit out last night took them till midnight to get off of the river. So by the time it closed where they were at, they get all the way to the truck and loaded up and the whole 9 yards midnight, and by the time he gets home it's 12:30 at night for 2 salmon. So these were not came by quick and easy as you might believe. So when prepping them, do so with great care. Took a lot of time and energy for our son and his friends to catch these fish. I'm honored that they sent them here. I can package them up. They'll go in the freezer. They're all labeled separately. And then those fish will go to work with Caleb tomorrow. And those guys will have food put up in their freezers as well. They're all in their young 20s, so it'll help them out to have something to eat this winter. I jumped back over. I had firmed up this meat in the freezer. It's not frozen, but the outside of it's firm, and so it's not squishing it down when I try and use the slicer. And I do it about 1/4 of an inch, and always shutting off that blade anytime I'm reaching around the machine. Get it all mixed up and into the fridge, 24 to 48 hours. So these are the fish Caleb caught and his buddies. There's like 4 of them last night. So these are last night's silvers. That's Caleb's big silver Patrick's fish. The next bit of recording is just Caleb talking, and so I'm going to let him just share his fishing story and some advice with you guys, even though it's not perfect.
See something cool?
They broke your tip?
Not the fish. Some scumbag on the boat. Before we even started fishing, too, I got on the boat and set up my reel. Might have been me, dude. I ain't placing blame on no one, but I don't know. Brand new, $160 reel.
All right, Caleb, go ahead. You got your pull out to show us the setup. What is it?
You got your little bobber with your weight. You're supposed to have a bigger weight. Your bobber's not supposed to be broken. Things silvers do to you. And you got your little hook, your octopus hook. You tie your knot so that you can put your bait in through the back. Put your bait in, cinch it up, and let it coast down the river.
Nice. That's how you got that big silver?
That's how I got all of mine. Got the same setup for all of us. Oh, got waterlogged in the boat though.
You got some for everybody?
And then these are if your weight's heavy, so your bait floats off to the bottom.
Nice.
Good
job, Caleb.
My bait is too heavy.
I'm starting to stick that in. Let's get this out of my way.
In this month of preserving, I have gotten several things to help preserve food around here. And based on the size of the silvers Caleb was able to catch, turns out we now get to go buy a much longer filleting knife, but Aaron still did such an excellent job filleting this fish.
That's a good fillet.
Yep.
That's a good chunk of meat.
Pretty.
I always say
All right, it is dinner time. I'm gonna put the rest of these in the freezer. Thank you those of you that stuck around to the end. This is Caleb's filet. He is going to fry this up tonight with just some butter and some seasoning on that salmon, and we're gonna eat. Thank you again, those of you who joined us. Today, I worked with meats. I did bacon, we did some jerky marinade, and then processed a bunch of salmon. So all of that helps fill that freezer, and we are excited to be eating so very well. And that is one of our favorite parts of Alaska, is that we can go out and harvest these things from the wild and get it to our table. So anyway, I hope you have a very blessed day. If you're new around here, welcome, thank you. If you would consider hitting that subscribe button. When you ring that bell, you get notifications. When you give us thumbs up and leave comments, all those things help our channel to grow. Last but not least, tell me what you guys did in the comment section. Tell me what you're squirreling away, how you're preparing for your family, what you've put in the freezer to help with the future, whatever's coming, or on your shelf, whatever the case is. I want to hear about it. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. See ya.
It's super hot for about a minute and then flip it like a steam fish stuff. Talking to people. Well, he just invited you. Now if you go, dude, you can't.